The Rajasuya has come to its end. Bhishma announces that now we need to start making offerings to all those who have participated in it, and we need to pick who is going to be the first one. Typically, it is given to either the guru, the priest, a snataka, or a king. But Bhishma advises Yudhishthira, since Krishna is here, there is none more deserving of this first offering than he is. Most people smile and accept this decision, but Shishupala, who happens to be Krishna's aunt's son or his nephew, he has a problem. Now, see, you have to understand that Shishupala has always had a problem with Krishna, and because he was the general of Jarasandha, who has just been recently killed, he is also harboring a lot of ill will towards Krishna. He doesn't like this one bit. He questions Yudhishthira and asks, when Drona is present, how is Krishna your guru? When Dhaumya is present, how is he your priest? This Krishna has not even finished his education. How is he a Snataka? And he, everybody knows, is not a king, he's just a politician. The fact that you are choosing Krishna when more eligible kings are here, it feels like an insult to me and everybody else. And saying this, Shishupala, along with a bunch of other kings, starts to leave the Sabha. Now Yudhishthira runs after him and tries to convince him and says, what you have said is not fair. You have insulted my esteemed guest in my own palace, and you have to understand that he is deserving of this, but I don't want you to walk away either. Please come back. Let's finish this properly. Then Bhishma says to Yudhishthira that this is old enmity, and Yudhishthira should not bother trying to fix it. And then Sahadeva, the brother, also chips in and says, if you have a problem, you can leave. We have chosen whom we are going to honor first. Yudhishthira then says, but all these kings seem to be bunching together. What if they start creating mischief? What if a fight breaks out and they end up harming Krishna because that is whom they are angry with? Bhishma laughs and says, can a lion be killed by a dog? You think Krishna is unsafe because Shishupala wants to hurt him? And he laughs. Now, Shishupala can't take this. This was said loudly for everyone to hear, and Shishupala responds by saying, you, Bhishma, you are a eunuch who has not married a girl because you do not have manhood. And you talk about Krishna like he has achieved something great. What is great in killing a Putana, a Rakshasi who had become a vulture? What is so special about killing Keshi or Arishta, Asuras who came in the form of horses or bulls, because they were not trained in warfare? What is so great in breaking a toy named Shakata? What is so great in lifting Govardhana Parvata and holding it up for 7 days? It is as big as an anthill and no bigger. And Kamsa, you think killing Kamsa is great? This is the worst kind of betrayal anyone can do, because all his life, Krishna has eaten food that came from Kamsa's palace, and then to turn around and kill his own uncle? This is the behavior of someone who is a cowherd, does not understand Kshatriya Dharma, and is no king. He is responsible also of Gohatya because he has killed Arishta. He is responsible for Stri Hatya because he has killed Putana, and he is also a coward who ran away when Jarasandha attacked him and could only kill Jarasandha by taking the help of Bhishma. Shishupala goes on and says much worse things about Krishna. Bhima is angry, but Bhishma pacifies him. He says, you don't have to get angry on behalf of Krishna. He will take care of this. In fact, I wonder if this is Krishna's plan because Shishupala's time has come. Shishupala listens to what Bhishma says and retorts, it looks to me, Bhishma, that you are a Suta who's paid to praise people. So if you're going to praise someone, praise Jarasandha, the greatest king who ever lived. Praise Karna, who, in spite of so many problems, has achieved such greatness. Praise Drona, praise Ashwatthama, praise Shalya, who is Yudhishthira's own uncle and is the most intelligent person that we know of. Praise Duryodhana, who has managed to control one of the most powerful kingdoms of this time all alone. And since you will not praise any of these and you will only praise Krishna, I want to believe that you and the Pandavas are showing favoritism and choosing someone who's not deserving of this honor. This, and because Krishna is still keeping calm and not even getting up from his seat in spite of these many insults, Shishupala finally turns and faces Krishna. And he says, if you dare, then fight me here. I'll kill you first, Krishna, and then I'm going to kill Yudhishthira because he has insulted all of us. Krishna softly responds and says, Shishupala, I've grown up watching you go from bad to worse. The only reason you're still alive is that I have given my word to your mother, who's my aunt, that I will not hurt you. But you seem to have caused all lines today. And Krishna turns to everybody else in the Sabha and says, don't think I have a problem with Shishupala because he is insulting me personally. It is because he has also done a lot of adharmic things. His time has come to pay the price for all the misdeeds he has committed. Shishupala laughs at him and he says, you stole my would-be wife. Rukmini was supposed to marry me, and like a thief, you stole my woman away from me. If only I was alive. But this sentence is cut midway because Krishna has had enough. Krishna summons his Sudarshana Chakra and in one shot beheads and kills Shishupala. The whole Sabha is paralyzed in fear and in respect towards what Krishna has done. Shishupala, when his head is cut off and falls to the ground, a bright light, similar to the brightness of the sun, leaves his body and enters into Krishna and then disappears. Krishna tells Yudhishthira, perform the funeral rites for this king of Chedi and crowns Shishupala's son to become the next king of Chedi kingdom. The yajna is now over. Shishupala is dead, and everybody receives their offerings and leaves for their respective countries. Two people decide to stay back in Khandavaprastha, Duryodhana and Shakuni. And that becomes the biggest turning point in the history of Mahabharata because what happens here is going to change the very direction of this story. A lot of times, the story of Shishupala Vadha is shown in Mahabharata to be a very small part of it because Krishna stories are not told in detail in Mahabharata. Shishupala is a legendary character who has been one of the enemies of the reincarnations of Vishnu for the longest time. In the Dwapara Yuga, in the Krishna reincarnation, him along with Dantavakra are the two people who are similar to Ravana and Kumbhakarna or Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. And there is this long story of Vishnu and his two enemies. That's a story for another day. But today, let's talk about a Mahakavya called Shishupala Vadham. This Mahakavya, Sanskrit Mahakavya, and one of these days I hope to make a full video series about it. It talks about a different ending to this story. Shishupala, in that, does not die in the Sabha itself when he angrily walks away from the Sabha and is brought back by Yudhishthira in the Vyasa story that we are listening now. The story as written by that Mahakavi changes because Shishupala leaves and goes back to Chedi. The Rajasuya Yajna is complete here, and then a full scale attack is launched, and Krishna, in war, eventually ends up killing Shishupala. A lot of people feel that a legendary character who's been haunting Vishnu avatars for the longest time, it felt like he got a very easy death and was not fully deserving of it. Uh, Shishupala Vadham, when I do it, I will link it somewhere. You will understand how this story goes and how it goes into the details of the death of Shishupala.